you had Secretary Rubio about 3 or so weeks ago went before the U.S. Senate. He was ostensibly talking about the Venezuela operation. One of the senators asked him, by the way, about this potential thing in Iran. If you can succeed in a regime change, what is the plan for afterwards? And he said, yeah, we don't have one. I don't really know. He said, it's kind of early to figure that out. 3 weeks ago, he said, we have no plan. You had Lindsey Graham, who flat out said on, I think it was CBS News a couple of days ago, that's not our job, man. That's not President Trump's job. It's not my job. Our job is just to kill everybody and blow shit up and then see what happens and then let them figure it out. That's the plan. So what that tells you is that in the unlikely event, but you can never completely eliminate it, that there is somehow the success of it. Apparently, the plan is to create chaos. So a quote success on our part is to create and sow complete chaos in the Middle East. Basically, like what happened with Libya back in 2011, where they just shattered that country after Gaddafi fell. And then I think to this day, I think you still have competing governments, and there's a low-level civil war going on there. So many people have died in between. Of course, you've got Syria, which is fractured. When we had al-Sharaa, the former terrorist leader that we had a $50 million bounty on, but hey, he worked for us at this point, so we'll see what happens with that. And now then you want to do the same thing to Iran, to just create this chaos into the region so that there's no uniform government. I doubt very seriously that would be benign. I think that if you, quote, succeeded in change your military objective, you're going to create more violence for Israel, more terrorism throughout the region, and certainly more destruction and violence on the people inside, who I think that the intent, especially from the Israeli side, would be to foster division among the various groups that would be resulted. I don't think there's even a desire to have a unified democratic government that would be friendly to the U.S. or anything. I think they don't even want that. I think they would. That's why I think they're pushing this Reza, the offspring of the Shah of Iran, in there, because they know that that's an incredibly polarizing figure that has, so much hatred from so much of the population. And then they would facilitate other groups too, so that they would go against one another. That's what I think that they would do if they were successful. But I think that's pretty unlikely that they're going to be successful. The task here is extremely difficult because once you start attacking another country, you get the whole rally around the flag kind of situation, because there is no question there's a big constituency inside of Iran that is genuinely against the Ayatollah, have protested against him for decades and would love to have seen him fall, but on their terms, not on our terms. And I think it's unlikely that we're going to get these opposition figures to join with the Israeli Defense Forces and the U.S. military who's blowing up and killing people all over the country, to include hundreds of little kids in a school, but apparently over 1,000 total civilian casualties already. I just don't think that they're going to say, yeah, that's cool. I understand there's casualties in war, so I get it that you had to kill a lot of us, but hey, thanks for coming in and getting rid of the Ayatollah. We'll take it from here. I just don't see that happening, but I do see millions of people so far protesting in support of the government.